Hey guys, another Christmas soap coming your way. This one is really simple. If you are a fan of the Christmas tree smell, you are going to like this one. And I am a glitter type girly. This soap, I did put a little bit of glitter on top, but it's not the shimmery, holographic, in your face kind of glitter. Okay, I had to go part way. I had to sacrifice, but you will see. This green is a lovely pigmented color. As you can see, it's green chrome oxide. I got this one from Mad Micas. It has not failed me yet. In fact, I used the last of it in this particular batch. So I need to be ordering me some more. Another thing, usually at the beginning of the video, I breeze right by because it's so fast, but I strain my lye water solution every single time. I do add sugar to my lye solution, and I do a 1-to-1 water ratio in most of my batches. So I strain it in case there is an odd fleck of sugar or lye. I never want something to be undissolved when I pour it into my base oils. So that is why I strain it. Every single batch I strain, I have not regretted it for 1 second. I know some makers don't, but I do. So I'm just giving this a little bit of texture. Also, I didn't add the fragrance to the entire batch. I just am adding it by layer. So I added it to this green layer first, so this white layer wouldn't set up too quickly while I was pouring the green layer and while the green layer was setting up. So it's something you kind of do in stages, particularly for a fragrance that you know speeds things up. And this one it's Balsam Fir from the Midwest Fragrance Company. I love this scent. I know I said that already, but there are some pine type scents that are just so off-putting or smell like cleaner, like a bathroom cleaner. This does not. This smells like fresh woods, like walking out into the woods to get your Christmas tree and cut it down. So this fragrance does discolor slightly, but I did add some titanium dioxide, and I disperse my titanium dioxide in the hottest water I can stand. I have not had an issue with clumps. I know that is a big issue with many makers. I did not use TD for a really long time because number one, I wasn't sold on whether I wanted to use it or not, but I looked at a lot of the white micas and all of them had titanium dioxide in them. And so I'm like, what is my problem? I'm willing to use a white mica that has TD in it, but I'm not willing to use TD by itself. So I did make the switch. It's easy to use if you know how to do it. Hot water, and yeah, it works like a charm. And then these little guys are melt and pour embeds. I love them. They're pine cones. They're different shapes. So I was trying to like maneuver where I wanted each one. I do have little marks on my silicone mold, like the liner, the purple liner. In a Sharpie, a permanent marker, I have marked each inch because this is a 10-inch mold. So I have 1-inch bars. My multi-bar cutter is set to 1-inch bars. So I wanted to make sure that each of these embeds were placed just right so I could use my multi-bar cutter. And here's the glitter I was talking about earlier. See, it's really benign. It's not in your face. It's like an auburn, orangey, brown color. So yeah, it's more of a masculine smelling loaf, but I just couldn't not do the glitter. So there it is. And then I did spritz it with 99% isopropyl alcohol, and this is my favorite part, wiping down the edges, making sure they're all nice and neat. And it did go through gel phase, but I watched the gel phase to make sure it didn't get too hot. These melt and pour embeds will melt if your gel phase gets too hot because they are melt and pour soap. Cold process soap won't actually melt at a high heat. It will go through a gelatinous phase, but it won't actually melt down into a liquid. Not the same that Melt and Pour will, because of the ingredients in Melt and Pour soap. So there are a few little air bubbles at the top, but honestly, I'm not disappointed. It's so beautiful. I love how this batch turned out. And then this is after the full cure. So these did not discolor. They stayed the same color that they were. The color stayed true, that white and that green. It did not morph at all, which is always so lovely. I always love that, when it just stays the way you put it. These are going to be available in my November 15th launch. If you're watching this video after November 15th, these are live in my shop now. If you're watching it before, mark your calendar. You're not going to want to miss that date. My shop is on Etsy at bluehavensoapery.etsy.com. And thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I never take that for granted. I really appreciate it.